Now I'm a little upset because I should have been in this trade. So if you were, congratulations. These trades continue to work. We'll be talking more about these tomorrow on the Schmooze. And it's going to be a big open house at the website. So we're going to be going over these trades repeatedly. And then we're going to highlight them all on November 22nd. And we're going to go over the 99, or sorry, it's about 911 of these trades over the last couple of months that have worked pretty well. And I'm going to try to get through as many as I can on Saturday and talk about where you're supposed to be buying, where you put your stops, what the risk reward is, and just the anatomy of this trade that's been changing lives. So hopefully I'll see you there.
Spencer, can you drop the link to the Schmooze?
Yeah, tomorrow night should be good. Maybe we'll get Strazza on as a guest. I heard him having guests on next week. Mary's coming in. We're all going to start trading together.
Nice. Yeah, I'll be there. I'll be putting on some trades. Hell yeah.
All right, cool, man. Yeah, we'll talk more about it later.
All right, Kenny Glick, ladies and gentlemen, hitthebid.com. Maybe the best URL ever. Hitthebid.com is such a great name. You know, I'm kind of happy that he got a cease and desist from the NASDAQ. Like suckmynasdaq.com is like great, but like it's a little aggressive, you know, especially in the morning. You know, hitthebid.com is more appropriate, I feel like. Shout out to the NASDAQ.
I've been flirting with launching a competitor to Kenny's service. It's called Lift the Offer, but it doesn't go off quite as well.
Dude, 6 months into being a dad, you're already right on point there, right? You're already right on point.
I've got Lift the Offer, but Lift the Offer doesn't. Yeah, he doesn't. It's, you know.
Before we go to John, can you throw up slides 2 and 3? Yeah. Throw up slides 2 and 3. I mean, first of all, stock market's making all-time highs. You got the bankers. Where's Strazza? Strazza, what do you think about these bankers telling everybody to sell the best stocks in the middle of a bull market? Sell the best stocks is what they say. These are the bankers over at Wells Fargo. Who knew Wells Fargo still existed? But nevertheless, they want you to sell your tech stocks. And then let's see what the journalists are telling your parents. Here, go to the next one there.
Well, they're saying to pay yourself a little. What's wrong with that?
So the bankers are telling you to sell the best stocks during a bull market. All right, that's good to know. And then the journalists are saying the stock market is headed for a fall.
No.
Bank bosses
that's what
say,
that's what the bank bosses say. Now they may be right, but they may be wrong.
Yeah, I guess we'll see. What do you think? You think they're going to be right, or you think they're going to be wrong?
It's one or the other. Can't be both.
I think that they're going to be wrong.
No, of course they're right. Of course the market's going to fall at some point, right? We just don't know when.
Throw up the XPEG, XPEV. You made fun of me last week for bringing this one up. I don't forget. I keep receipts. So this trade has already doubled for us. So if you want to throw,
I know. I got the email. I know.
So this, that's why you got to put in the work, guys. Because last week, while everybody was crying about, the market breadth is so weak and the equally weighted indexes are not keeping up. Like, remember all that whining last week? XPAV was creeping up, creeping. But you got to pay attention. Because if you're so busy whining about weak breadth and the equally weighted and you're going to miss the giant elephant walking right in front of you. You got to pay attention. So I want to give a shout out to Edward. Shout out Edward. Coming in hot at the end of that meeting last week. Coming in hot with the XPEV. I looked at the chart, bought it right away. I just want to give a shout out to Edward.
Shut up. All right.
Well deserved, Strazza, right?
Yeah, it's a good one. This is a good one. We like it a lot.
Yeah, I like it. Salute,
all right,
Edward.
Shall I bring on John?
Please.
Yeah. Okay, and his charts are in the deck. They are where are they? Slide 13.
Yo, Jay, we've been friends for a long time. Make the call.
I mean, this is pretty professional, guys.
Nice show you got going here.
John.
Good morning, fellas. What's going on?
What's going on, my man? You know what I like about John? Some of you guys might not know John Salama. You know what I like about John? I like two things about you, John. You come to the market.
Only two.
Yeah, only two. After that, I really like that, you got your eyes on a lot of things. right? You're looking at the market from a macro perspective. You're looking at all kinds of things in crypto and, tech and rotation, and you're doing the whole thing. But in addition to all of that, the idea flow coming out of you, like you're looking at a lot of stocks, right? So, and all of the things that you're doing fall within the context of all of those other things, but like you're coming in hot with the trade ideas. And someone like myself, I'm always looking for ideas. I'm always looking for idea flow. You're one of those guys. You're one of those guys. So I just want to, a couple things I really like about you.
Wonderful. Props. I appreciate that.
It's true, right?
Well, I think you're going to like what I'm going to say then with all these charts.
I usually do. Let's hear it.
Global bull market, man. I sent Spencer some charts last night. They're buying every global index at 52-week highs. All these charts are 1-year views. First one you put up, what? Papa Dow?
Don't fight Papa Dow. That's how I learned it, John.
I understand. Yeah. The index made all-time highs yesterday. The DIA ETF itself actually peaked. I don't know. There's a little bit of divergence here from DIA and the index. Not hugely important. It's set to do all-time highs this morning at 48,000. You get a little bit of a bearish divergence. I know it's hard to act in the moment, but it lets me know that maybe it's not as broad a rally, and you could see a short fall down 2% from 479 to 470 here short term over the week. If you do, I would hop in and get into those 30 stocks. That thing's going higher. So this is the United States 30 companies. The idea of this segment here is to give you breadth over everything that's going on in the world. So Dow, that's one of the biggest indices in the country. Of course, basically all-time highs. That's kind of all I have to have for the Dow here, unless you guys want to add something.
Why do you think the Dow doesn't get the love that it deserves?
Probably just because it's not cap weighted. It's not, cracked out on beta like the other indices. Like, the Qs are the GOAT for the past 30 years.
Time out. Did you just say it's not cracked out on the beta like the others? That is the line of the day right there. That's the quote of the day. You guys mark it down. Day's over. Y'all can go home now. That is the quote of the day. It's not cracked out like the other. Yeah, cracked out in beta. That's great. That's good stuff.
You think people on Robinhood buying 0DTE Dow upside calls? You can. The thing's ripping like everything else.
John, they're not buying the breakout in expediters?
Yeah, I don't think so. Jason. All right, this is Mexico. They're basically buying North America. I was almost like kind of sarcastic with these charts. You can buy every continent. They're buying all of them. So Africa. I just had the United States. I know you rave about Africa.
Dude, if Antarctica had a stock market, they would be buying that too.
I agree. I know. They'd probably be buying ICE somehow.
Yeah, ICE futures, bro.
ICE futures, exactly. This one, Mexico, again, 52-week highs. And if you zoom out, a lot of these still have overhead back from those crazy, before the great financial crisis when, there were bricks. Obviously, Mexico's not a brick, but you understand what I'm talking about in terms of commodity exposure and everything else. This chart looks great. It got really hot in the end of September, and now you just have that breakout above those previous highs. This looks strong. I mean, they're buying Mexico as well. EWW, you can buy if you get a little bit of a shortfall to 60.
You're buying Mexico, guys. Mexico, not 7 tech stocks, fucking Mexico.
Thank you.
You been to Mexico?
Yeah, beautiful.
They're buying Mexico. I mean, they're really, not known for the high quality defensive nature of their equities market, right?
No, it's Walmex and a bunch of other stuff.
Cemex,
that's right. Yeah. Last thing I want to say on this. Yeah, it made me sick. You were talking about like people pissing and moaning about the RSP last week, only up 4% year to date, yada yada. That's fine. It's catching up with everything else. People are acting like the sky is falling. We're less than 2% away from all-time highs. I thought that was a joke. All right, so that's Mexico. They're buying that as well. You could buy if you get a shortfall, like I said, down to 66.5. A lot of these have bearish divergences. Brazil, I've been writing about this one. I've been trading this one.
Looks great.
Looks great. It's also commodity sensitive. You see oil, XOM perking up. I know Strazza is all about that trade and the energy finally waking up. We'll get to that maybe in a little bit, but Brazil looks absolutely great. No bearish divergence here. Overbought again. New highs. Looks great. Again, so now they're going in South
America. What's your favorite Brazil stock? Strazza likes the old Pabst Blue Ribbon.
PBR is good. Vale. There's a lot. You can pick. Vale.
I like the new NU.
NU as well, yeah. EWZ moves as well. I know. Again, getting cracked out.
And then you got the EWZS, which are the
thank you. Small caps, EWZ.
Brazilian small caps
as well.
you know, if you're not cracked out enough on beta.
But think about it, they're buying small cap Brazil. You're telling me this is somewhere near the end of the bull market? That's absolutely risk on, like factorial. So
I
just
heard
keep
that
buying.
a crash was coming. I got these bankers at Wells Fargo telling your parents to sell their tech stocks.
And that's why they call them the sell side. They're selling you something.
Ah, I like that. See, guys, John Salama coming in hot, just dropping those one-liners. You know, that's why it's called the sell side. They're always trying to sell you something. I like that. I like that.
Let's go around the globe. I think I got a couple more. I think it might be sectors, but I'm not sure yet. Okay, so here we're going to the SMH. Again, just calming down a little bit. To me, I still call him the quarterback of the market. I know it's a massive offensive line, kind of like my Eagles. Quiet Strazza, we are having a wonderful year again. I know he hates my birds. You got those previous highs. Remember,
Really
the
does. Not as much as he
know.
hates the Cowboys, but yeah, he hates those birds.
Oh, he just sent me an expletive privately. You see SMH here overbought going into Halloween and then a little bit of a fallback. I am, in terms of talking my book here, I'm buying ARK this week. I shorted, what else did I do here? I'm long silver. I'm just putting on my trade stock, my book. I also bought Rigetti. I was watching your hit the bid segment from before. I think you're going to get the beta really start to pick up here. Crypto and SMH, this kind of drawdown, I don't want to say concerns me. They're just letting their foot off the gas with massive winners. To me, it's profit taking, not bubble bursting behavior. And that hammer last week, or that massive hammer there that you can see, was one of the best things in the market. As a technician and a chartist, that's massive. The buyer stepped in. That's your entry level around there will be rewarded.
Throw up the new slide too there, guys. John, I mean, you're talking about buying ARK. And, when I think about ARK, I think about small cap technology, as kind of being like a cousin of ARK, if you will. And if you throw up that slide too, guys, I'm seeing, small cap technology closing at all-time highs last week. This is when they're telling me breadth is weakening and that there's only 7 stocks that are driving this market. I'm seeing the small cap tech index not only breaking out to new all-time highs, but making new 52-week highs relative to the S&P 500.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I just see these things, and, to your point, they don't seem risk off, like at all. Historically speaking, these are the most risk on things, right? And did you see the QQQJ? Do I have a chart of the QQQJ? So do you track the QQQJ often or no?
Not too often. That was the the smaller index?
So this is the next 100 stocks in the NASDAQ after the NASDAQ 100. Throw up the new slide too. So this is the next, so QQQ's junior, if you will, is what they were trying to do there with the QQQJ. So by definition, this index of the next 100, so in other words, 101 through 200, if you will, by definition excludes all of those stocks that we're being told are the only ones driving this market, right? These are the next 100. And then I'm seeing it closing at new all-time highs. So, when I look at something like this, and you got like 40% technology, 20% healthcare in here, another 13, 14% discretionary, this doesn't seem like weakening breadth. This doesn't seem like risk off. This seems like further breadth expansion, more and more participation. It isn't just Mexico and Africa and Japan and Germany. It's America. And it's not just 7 stocks, America. It's all America.
No, and this QQQJ has some powerhouses. This has Western Digital, recent superstar SanDisk. It has Teradyne, First Solar, and some of the the solar stuff that's come, really surged back. So absolutely, it's not 7 stocks. That's nonsense.
And then Dawson's saying that JC, nobody's talking about that anymore. They are. All of last week, I was getting, journalists and, I was watching a podcast called the All In Podcast. And it's, I think, the #1 podcast in the world right now or something like that. And so a lot of people watch this. And these guys that are not traders, I think they're venture capitalists, are telling people that there's only 7 stocks that are driving this market and none of the other stocks are doing anything. They were lying to you. None of that was true. Go back and watch that episode from last week. Literally, they're telling you that only a few stocks are going up. And these are smart guys. What's that guy? Brad Gerstner, I think his name. Yeah. Smart dude. Telling everybody that none of the other stocks are doing anything. Like, what are we doing here? That's not true. There are plenty of stocks doing well. Like, what is going on here?
I don't know what's the assignment, what's behind that motive. One of the reasons why I'm bringing you all these global charts is to show you just exactly. And the pizza pie just got so much bigger. There's more to go around. Every sector, 9 out of 11 sectors are soaring above moving average, except materials and staples. Of course, staples totally risk off. You want to stay long the cycle. This continues to go higher. And a little bit of real estate affiliation. Obviously, there's cash around the world, not just in money markets, but folks maybe, at least here in the States, are getting away from that home ownership. So they're going more into stocks. That's not ending. I know the top, 5% here in the country own like 87% of the stocks. This is going higher. I have like an 8,500 target on the S&P end of next year. And this is just
8,500 S&P 500. Just for perspective, folks, we are under 7,000. That's another 1,500 points. John Salama.
It's going to get there. It's going to get there.
And what do you think people are so angry about? You know, why is sentiment? Why are the bankers telling you to sell your tech stocks? Why are the journalists telling you about this upcoming debt emergency?
Honestly, probably because Nvidia is worth like 2 Canadas. The valuation probably has people freaked out, and it's just so growth. You have a company like Rigetti, stock of the year. They reported earnings 2 days ago, $7 million in sales for the quarter. Yet it's a $12 billion company. That
but when you equally
off.
weight the S&P 500, you look at all the other ones. Is it that expensive? My fundamental friends tell me it's not. Isn't there a few stocks that are super expensive and then the rest aren't?
I think folks have a little bit of the hubris about, like Musk is going to be the first trillionaire. It's going to happen. The first $1 trillion company. Now we have what, 3-4 trillion dollar companies. You just don't be skeptical. You usually sound smart, but you're wrong in the end, especially when the market keeps cranking like this.
No, that's a good thing. Like being bearish and angry, like makes you sound smart at a party. But what are we trying to do here? Sound smart at a party or make money?
Make money. Jinx.
I mean, let's be serious. Okay, so that's the case on the sentiment. And then what about some of the other stuff, John? Like, how are you thinking? Okay, great. So stocks are in a bull market. Thanks, bro. Right. You made great points, but we know. What about some of the other stuff? Like, talk to me about precious metals, some of the relative strength we've seen in silver, back above 50, looks great. Talk to me about Bitcoin. Like, talk to me about some of the other stuff going on out there.
I love what you're asking. I'm long the silver December SLV D's 44.48 call spread right now.
Woo! Coming in hot long the silver bull call spread. All right, John. All right.
I'm not up on every trade, but this one's up 70%. I'm looking to get out today. It's gapping up 2%, and I'm going to take my profits out of that. The gold trade, all those things have just been consolidating a little bit. Gold did nothing for about 4 or 5 months and then cranked, right? I think Bitcoin's doing the same thing. It does concern me a little bit. I got to give shout out to Strazza. He didn't like when Strategy was making 52-week lows and looked exceptionally weak. Bitto, new 52-week low, although the way they structure that with the dividend is absolutely crazy with total return. But not a great, like you said, sentiment around crypto. But I think it's just dormant for now. I'm also setting up into an Ethereum call spread right now for December as well. I think they're setting up. I got to be careful.
What do you use as your vehicle?
ETHA for Ethereum.
So ETHA because it's more liquid than ETHE.
Yeah.
Got it.
Much more liquid. The option chains are alive. And for Bitcoin, I use IBIT. I don't trust strategy. Coinbase is a good one as well. I love that it has the lever of equity plus financials plus crypto. That's why it's one of the stars of the S&P 500. It's really got every tailwind. What was your other question about the Bitcoin?
No, I want to know about precious metals and Bitcoin. Talk to me about energy, right? So our energy stocks have really been working really, really well. Oil kind of hasn't started moving yet, but some of these energy stocks have been big winners for us.
I will be very honest. Got stopped out yesterday on my USO short. I was in a USO put spread. I got stopped out, and I said no more. And it was like literally the same day. XOM, 6-month breakout. You've seen it break above 120. Straz, I know, was a big fan of that. You guys all are, and that looks good as well. Now every squirrel gets a knot. This is almost like an own all assets market. Hopefully not fart coin. Maybe you're a fan. A little bit too gassy for me, but this is. Get out and buy stuff. This isn't like the sturfs and the back in the day, like own land. We don't really own land anymore. It's over the real estate problem, but you got to own assets, even if they have no earnings. I know it sounds crazy, but
love what you're doing here. Getting back to every squirrel gets a nut. Everybody gets a turn, right? What do they call it? The blue bonnie market, right? Everybody gets a turn. So, what we're thinking is that, healthcare is such an important segment of the stock market, both the S&P 500 and the Dow. This ain't Canada. In Canada, healthcare stocks are not allowed, right? It's against the rules. Here in America, right here in good old US of A, we got a lot of healthcare stocks. And so if this is a bull market and we're going to have another leg higher, which I was in the camp this summer that we would, then we reverse engineer what the future looks like. And for the market to do that, healthcare had to start participating. You needed healthcare coming in. Like, so if you reverse engineer what the next leg of a bull market looks like, healthcare's got to be a part of it. Math only, not valuations or what the fuck the companies are doing. Nobody cares about any of that. It's just math on terms of how the market works, right? Like the structure of the market mathematically. If S&Ps are going to rip, healthcare can't keep collapsing. And then sure enough, right? And then so energy, I think, has a strong potential to be the next one. We'll see.
I agree. And it's interesting. I mean, you can see the big, recovery here towards the end of October in XLV, two basically God candles that took the stock from 136 to 145 in 2 days. Obviously, we cured cancer and we're going to live to 150. And then yesterday, another massive 2% gain. You got energy need there, pretty close, up to 52-week highs. And the AI thing is going to change a lot of these sectors, right? Like there's energy play, Schlumberger, saying that we're integrating AI into, our pipeline, all that stuff. It's going to revolutionize all these things. So then, these companies are better than in 2000. They have earnings. It's not just pets.com, alarm.com, all that junk, right? These companies at least have prospects, guidance, so on and so forth for some cases. AI is going to change a lot of these businesses to the upside. Margins will expand. Stocks follow profits. It's going higher. If unemployment goes to 10%, that's a different problem that the market will have to grapple with. That could maybe change my 8,500 estimate for the end of next year if, you do need people to spend money on cruises. But for right now, I don't think that's a concern, considering what we just said. Fractally, the top 5% of the market, spend more than the bottom 60% and own 85% of stocks.
The PE in the S&P 500, hello, John, was almost 3 times back in 2000 what it is today. The price to earnings multiple in the NASDAQ 100 was 100x at one point. It's 27 times today.
Just to be clear, in terms of Canadian healthcare,
no, I'm not talking about.
I mean, no. In the chat, there's like 8.
And that's me.
There's like 8 stocks, and they're like medical devices and a few biotechs. I'm rooting for them, but they don't actually matter in Canada. Not allowed against the rules over the line.
David Cox was on yesterday, guys. He made a great point. He said, if you go look at the S&P TSX capped indexes, like their version of the sector spiders, basically, he's like, our healthcare is better, our industrials are better, our energy is better. He's like, consistently cycle in and cycle out. So that's really interesting. Yeah.
Dude, David Cox is the man. David Cox is the reason I look at quarterly charts.
David Cox is inspiring me to reduce the period on our RSI. I've been playing around with that.
He's one of those.
Yeah.
Dude, go down that Connie Brown rabbit hole.
Dude, her books are tough for me.
I know they're tough. You and I aren't smart enough for her books.
I gotta be honest. I'm not smart enough for Connie.
I'm not smart enough for her books.
A lot of math.
We should have her on. Why don't we have Connie Brown on? So instead of pretending that we're smart enough to read her books, we can just have her tell us.
Just ask her about it.
Just ask her. She's lovely. Yeah. She's so nice. She's super sweet.
So not even going to pretend like we read them. Just
dude, have you seen her latest book? Her latest book is like 1,500 pages. It's like this one of these you need like one of those scrolling machines just to be able to hold the goddamn book. It's like,
probably understand.
Dude, I'm not even kidding. It costs like thousands of dollars to buy the book.
Yeah, it's not for me.
Bartoloni has one.
Definitely. All right, John. So are you still super long gold and gold miners?
Silver right now. I got out of the GDX. I'm an SLV. I just love the momentum on 3 and 6 months. Right. I'm getting out, like I said. I'm getting out today, probably.
It's been a killer trade, my friend. Good for you.
Yep, I'm sure. I've put spreads.
Final trades. Yep. John, what's the trade right here, right now? What are you buying? I got money to put to work.
I am probably buying ARC today, and what else do I have here on my sheet? Probably, I'm going to get into ARC today. That's probably the one I'm really focusing on.
Wow.
Maybe get long.
What do you think about that, Strazza? Speculative growth. Are we back?
No protective puts for John Salama.
Sometimes, but
no. Okay.
Not this time.
Not this time.
Sometimes, not this time. No, you got a little VWAP level there in the ARC from the August lows.
Strazza, what are you putting on?
I'm chilling, dude. I'm watching what's going on in healthcare. Wanted Pfizer bad yesterday. Got some. not as much as I would have liked.
Dude, that Madrigal, bro.
I want the big boys. I want to go to the big boys, hit them in the options market, and play some of these pops because like the largest healthcare names are just zooming, and you have plenty of liquidity there. You could easily add leverage. Look at the candles in like just Merck and Pfizer yesterday. Medtronic.
Are we pretending that healthcare is a defensive sector, or are we past that?
No, it always is.
Is it?
But it's fine. You know,
All right.
like
Everybody
Johnson
gets a
buying
turn,
everything,
baby.
so-
Everybody gets a turn.
Everyone
hear
gets a nut.
You call this a Bonnie Blue market because everybody gets a turn. I heard that right.
Yeah, you like that?
He did say that.
Wow.
Be careful.
I said that. Yeah. Wow.
All right.
Yeah, good.
All right, ladies, gentlemen, this has been another episode of the morning show. We are incredibly grateful to have friends like John Salama. John, you are the man. The chat's loving it. They want you here more often, so don't be a stranger. Spencer, stop messing around. Get John here more often.
I like John Salama so much that when I go to the deli now, I say, give me some Boar's Head Genoa Salama. And they say, sir, you mean salami? And I say, no, I don't. I mean Salama.
Love it.
Mm-hmm.
They'll get it. They'll stop correcting you.
All right.
Also love uranium. I got in yesterday. It's rocketing here.
Uranium, not Uranus. Uranium.
No, uranium.
All right.
URA.
Down, Spencer. Jesus.
All right, let's get out of here. Thank you for watching. Big day on the channel. Check out all the shows, stockmarkettv.com, YouTube, Twitter, the whole thing. 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 5 o'clock, a lot going on today. Sean, Kenny, Jeff, Riley. Thank you, John. Thank you, chat. Go make some money, all right?
I'm going to be MIA for the next hour.
I can't take no loss. I don't even know what it costs. I hit the ground, then it go off. Yeah, hit the ground, then it go off. Yeah,